Okay, sinking clap. You can clap as well if you want.
Oh, right.
Oh, well done, Gilly. Right, somebody start this podcast.
Just automatically going into. Even if someone's been droning on too long in this, can we just shake that one?
Droning on. It's
When
not
you
like
want the
I've not
end
heard
of
that
the
one
podcast,
before.
when you finish the end of the podcast, just when you want to tap out, Rich, just shake it. Yeah.
Just have a nap if you want. I know you've been busy, mate, so just sit in the nana chair and have a nap.
Definitely use that. Yeah,
We've got 1% battery left, all of us, haven't we? We're sharing 1% battery here. We need
Yeah.
So, this one, Chris, yeah? Welcome to the RUNcensored podcast with me, Ben Mounter, Gary House, and special guest today, friend of the podcast, Rich Gill.
Another repeat customer.
Welcome, Rich. Yeah, you're back on. Second time, mate, this, isn't it?
Yeah,
Officially?
second time catching Mel up.
You won the first ever.
Yeah, you
one, was
were.
it?
Yeah.
In the OG in Sheffield.
That's it,
Lazybiz, yeah. Good to be
Back
so
in your
thanks for having me
hometown.
back.
It's a pleasure to have you, mate.
But he's also, we say friend of the pod, friend of us, but he's also does stuff behind the scenes, helps out sometimes, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'm in the WhatsApp group on. I sometimes give you my opinion on things, but usually it's just like, keep going, this is amazing. Keep doing it.
I've stolen plenty of photos off you, Rich. So
Yeah. You're going to do the headshots after this, aren't you?
Yeah, so it's good.
You're
to
a
be
big
involved.
part of it, Rich. You're a big part of it.
Good to be involved. Yeah.
But we're still in Chamonix. We're at the end of a very busy week. We've just shot a podcast with Andy Berry, which is going to go out this week, Tuesday. And then in about 10 days' time, this podcast is going to go out. So although it's after UTMB, we're still going to do a recap because we've had a busy week, haven't we? We've been out for a full week.
We were lucky to get Andy on so close to his finish, so we wanted to obviously have a separate chat with Andy, and this is going to be just a catch up with us three, really, because we've been like ships in the night.
Yeah, we've hardly seen each other, have we? Apart from the bits of content me and Gary have done together. But I ain't seen you, Rich, all week, and we've passed each other a couple of times, and that is it.
Because I think this is my 4th year out now, and each year gets busier and busier and busier. But and you realise, you know everyone in Chamonix. It seems like you know more people than you do in your own town.
And you've been out a while, haven't you? Well, a few days before.
10 days, yeah. I got out the weekend before, the Friday, stayed up at Les Nantes just before Le Prat, and then moved into the centre of Cham. But
is there no barbers in Cham?
Lee Cham. Wow, it's
turned into Lee Sharp.
But what you've been up to then, Rich? Because 10 days, long time, but you've been really busy. I know that.
Yeah. But it is how it is. And when you're running and creating content, it's going to be a busy week. You earmark this as a photographer as one of the busiest weeks and best opportunities to get work. So,
what was the highlight? Sheffield Wednesday beating Leeds in the cup.
Definitely our under 15s, mate. Beat Leeds on a Tuesday night.
So it was day after my birthday, and I'd got the new Leeds away shirt, and I was desperate to wear it on Cham, and I thought, well, I can't wear it now, can I? Because I bump into you day after losing that game, so it's still in the bloody camper van.
Oh, man.
So I'll wait till I get home, till it's all died down.
A little win there, yeah. That's going to be a rare thing, but
and highlight for Gary. We won't mention the Grimsby game. Oh, so shit! I just did. Sorry, Gary.
Luckily, it seems like a long time ago that Grimsby game for United, but we bounced back and we had an amazing performance. Well, it was last night. We watched it in the pub, and we managed to absolutely smash Burnley in the 96th minute with a penalty. So all is well at Old Trafford. By the time this goes out, he's probably been sacked. And, we're bottom of the league.
You've been bottom of the league with Leeds, won't you? Well, I mean, we got a draw yesterday. We watched the back end of the Man U game, and then we watched Leeds, didn't we?
We did, yeah. We were about to go home actually, and we ended up in the pub. It's just been a long week. So
I put the results on yesterday. I've lost track of what day it is.
Yeah.
It was Saturday yesterday.
Yes.
Well, we were sat having a bite, and he goes, "Oh, Man United are playing." I'd forgotten, even though I'd looked in the morning. Yeah. It was like,
and I thought, you just reminded me. I'll check the results. Check the Wednesday result. We've lost again. We're not bottom of the league. Sheffield United are bottom of the league. So they're propping us up by one play. So it's not great, but there we go.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, isn't it? But that is
what a great rundown of UTMB. That's what happens when you get three lads that haven't talked about football for 7 days.
all seen each other really. Yeah. But that is what happens in UTMB week, isn't it? You're that engrossed in the action and what's going on, but you've been out doing a load of content, haven't you, Gilly?
Yeah. So my aim this year was what I do now. Now I'm learning what this week is about. It's a mad week. Some people loathe it, and a lot of people love it, and I get that. It's there's a lot going on, and it's hard for people to. I understand, you know, being that week, even if you're not working, it's just a hell of a lot going on. But for me, you know, I contact brands and companies and say, listen, I'm there, I'm racing anyway, or if I'm not, I'm going to be there, and then it's a case of just, you know, planting the seeds to get working. Yeah. Got out 3 days before, made sure that I had 3 days of just chilling with friends, and then got a bit of training in, and then I've been working all week this week. Yeah.
A lot of the work you had on this week then, how pre-planned was it? And did you pick up some while you were here as well?
You know, it's last minute, and it's always last minute, and it's never that pre-planned. So I go
but like for people that see you as a photographer out and you are working with some great brands and stuff, like it's worth saying that it's still a bit of a risk, isn't it? Because you're not booking stuff last minute, really. You're planning to be here, and you have to accept that whether it's just because I'm going to run the OCC, which we'll talk about, and I might not get any work, I imagine, or you just have to, like you say, you have to have the confidence that you're going to get some work, which you've ended up with a lot. But
and I think it's that having that belief, but being opportunistic, innit? So,
Similarly, I've got a friend, Peter Maximo. You've met him before. Big beard, American guy, real personality.
Yeah.
So he came out last year and this year, and each time he's come out, he's not known what he's doing. And this year was a real risk because he's not like flush with cash. He said, it is. He said it cost him a load of money, took a big risk, and he wasn't sure if he was going to get any work. And the first night, I had a couple of beers with him, like last Sunday night, and he still didn't know if he was going to get any work. And then whilst we were watching the start of UTMB, I looked up at one of the balconies above the start and finish line, and he's there with a camera, like just taking shots. So he's obviously picked some work up, but same situation as you, Rich.
Nick Hardy, he got a good spot up above.
Oh, didn't it? Was Nick up there? He wasn't with Nick because I know Nick, but it was one of those balconies. So I was like buzzing for him because it's a big risk to come out, isn't it? And a big expense. It's not cheap, Chamonix.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was already booked in. I got a place for the ballot for the OCC. So I was coming for the race anyway. But if I wasn't racing, I'd still be coming out and being,
part of it.
Just being a fluffer for me and Ben.
And what I would do, but you know, if you don't get work, you could potentially sell work.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
You get that shot.
You could do, and I've done that before.
It's like David Miller's got that shot before, hasn't he? Like Courtney DeWalter when she won a few years ago, and it was the shot of UTMB that he got. Yeah.
You know, it's old-fashioned paparazzi. You know, tabloids, newspapers.
Yeah.
They're there. You don't know. You don't know what you're going to get. You might get an absolute belter that no one else has got, and then it's in demand. But anyway. Yeah.
So working for Sturker?
Not Sturker actually, although. You know, I'm fortunate that they send me nutrition once a month, and you know, I'm part of their athlete program. The team was out this year, so we just met up last night. But I've actually been working for Nirvana Travel Group this week. I don't know if you've heard of Nirvana Travel Group. They're great. They basically sort out logistics, flights, accommodation, pick up, drop off at races, start lines, finish lines, and then the recovery, pre and post recovery, prep for athletes in triathlons, UTMB races now, and they're the direct UTMB sort of travel company.
They've done well because like last year I met them last year, and I know it's changed a little bit, but last year it was almost like I don't know, it really went under the radar, and it was the guy that was working for them at the time approached me. I ended up having a good afternoon with them and Meryl. Mel Cooper, who's
she's like the coach.
Meryl Cooper. Yeah.
Is she Innovate still?
She's Innovate. Yeah. And Stacey
really nice,
used to work from Run.
Great runner. So I was chatting to her on the stand, but it was more about getting the idea out there, I think, more than anything. Whereas this year, in the space of a year, I've seen they've obviously stepped it up in terms of they're all now hotel, in my hotel. So they're being well looked after, and it's another option that runners can have. I guess, and it's good. It's interesting from my point of view because obviously I don't see a lot of that stuff in other races. And I know they've got lots of other events going on, but it's just another layer of like how big UTMB is because they've got a company there that's just there to almost like look after runners like a next level, don't they? They get an extra level of comfort and looked after and ferried around and all sorts of that stuff, and it's just people like Rich can go and take nice pictures of them. And I took a real advantage of it because I said, hey,
I'm on the main bus to the start of the OCC at daft o'clock in the morning. Surely you want a bit of content of the private travel, from a runner's point of view. I'll get that content. Chuck me in your private van. So I got an extra hour and a half in bed, went in the car.
Mate,
winner.
Brilliant. That is a winner.
So
that is good skills, Rich. I like that.
I got direct up to the start line and felt chauffeured up. It was nice.
And you two were staying in the same hotel, right?
Rich joined me in the end, because he was like a little hobo around Chamonix first. He was in a different accommodation every night. And then I was there. I came out late Sunday night, and it's now Sunday again, so I've been out the full week. Rich joined me in that hotel on the Tuesday. It's good to have him around. And again, we haven't spent loads of time together. Well, yesterday we spent most of the day together. But yeah, seeing Rich for breakfast every day has been really nice out here, actually.
Yeah.
Last year, I'd have to really make an effort to go and find someone that I knew. So yeah, it was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's been good. The party hotel, the Folly Deuce.
Has Gary just been coming down in his robe in the morning?
He's coming down in final boss outfit every morning.
We'll get onto that. We'll get onto the final boss.
I mean, again, from my point of view, Sports Shoes and Hoke have looked after me from that point of view. Like,
we've come out together, haven't we?
Yeah, we've come out together, and obviously, like Ben's full-time Sports Shoes, I'm obviously not, so it was a bit of an honour, to be honest, to get asked to front some of their stuff. And they've looked after me at the Folly Juice. I never expect all that kind of stuff, but it's been really nice, to be honest.
We came out with like a two-pronged attack this time in terms of content. So like we split the teams up. So we went and filmed a documentary. TDS behind the scenes. So a couple of runners that I know really well, Darren Agnew and Hannah Cawthra. Hannah works for Hawker, tech rep, and she was crewing Darren, who was doing TDS. And then they had a bigger crew of people that were in a run club that Darren set up in Manchester. And Hannah was part of that. And that's where they met. So
Never Stop?
No, it wasn't Never Stop, a little thing, but they did work at Never Stop together. Right. But this run club kind of brought them all together, or he brought them all together, and this was almost like their way of paying him back, if you know what I mean. It was like a really nice storyline. So that was kind of the bones of the story, and then following Darren round, because there's highs and lows of crewing, isn't there? From the runner's perspective, the crew's perspective, nothing ever goes to plan, does it, in terms of travel? So thankfully, most of it did. But we filmed every aspect of that. So I didn't see Gary for like a couple of days because I literally had
Monday to Wednesday morning.
5 hours sleep in 3 days. So by the time we got together on Wednesday, and Gary had been doing other bits of content for Sports Shoes, like fronting the content in Chamonix, and basically being our front man for the week. By the time we'd met, like I could barely speak, could I? It's like, have you had any sleep yet? Or like,
But you're juggling that many things. I mean, you're talking about the Sports Shoes things and Hooker, but it's not just what you've been doing for Darren and the documentary. Then there's all the other content you guys have been doing daily. It's not as easy as people think, and it's just a 30-second video can take hours to plan and prepare and get to positions.
And it's completely different. Like on Monday, it took us because I'm obviously new in their team stuff. You have to learn how people work and all that kind of stuff, and it's just like, right, what are we actually going to do? So Ben and his team have moved off, and it's almost like a full day to film and produce a reel to the quality that Sports Shoes need it, because it's not me on my just doing my normal videography that people will know me for. Like when Sports Shoes are involved, some of their videos need to be higher quality, basically. So it does need to be right, and it needs it needs that attention. And then on the other side, me and Ben have an idea, and we nip off to the supermarket half an hour before we had to jump on a train. Did it in 5 minutes maybe with the running poles in the supermarket, and that did really well as well. And I just think from my point of view, I like having basically trust to have flexibility. Like I can probably do a reel that does really well. Takes 5-10 minutes, or you can do one that takes all day, and it's
because we've got a set way of like producing content from a Sports Shoes perspective, and Gary, like the normal content that he does probably doesn't fit into that model really, but having both different types, and we actually did manage to merge it for the Strava segment, didn't we?
So the first one is me, but basically shot by Sports Shoes. It's me around Chamonix, and I really liked it and think it's a good reel. And then the same with the Strava one is a bit of a in between, I guess it ended up being, isn't it? Because it's shot by like the talented team at Sports Shoes with when it needed to be. But there was also parts where me and Ben are just running with a, it wasn't a GoPro, was it? But that kind of just a handheld.
No, it was a GoPro. It was a GoPro.
Oh, right, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yes, it was just a handheld. So up the trail,
Mm.
and then to see it, because usually I do all my own editing, so it's really good actually for me to do that. Had loads of fun on the Strava kind of segment shoot, and then I just see the end result.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
And-
it's and they bought into, I guess they let they let me and Ben lean into a bit more.
Well, we basically created the script for it, and we decided how it was going to look, and we were just bouncing. I mean, we've been bouncing all week, and you can see that through the content
And
that
even
we've
had
done.
no sleep on that day,
Yeah.
so it was.
Yeah,
it
but
was
that's a relationship thing that you know each
Yeah.
other so well, and you know what
Yeah.
works, Gary, and what works for each other, and it's come across. By the way, brilliant. I think it's the best stuff you guys have done. I'm not just saying that. The week's content's been incredible, and
Yeah,
you know,
I
it's
agree.
ticking
It's the
so many
best stuff
boxes.
UTMB
You've had
I've ever
Hooker. so the hotel we're at is where the Hooker bosses are staying, and all the top athletes. Ludo Pomeray was walking through breakfast this morning. I saw Jim Wumsey getting interviewed yesterday in the lounge, walking through. And you've had the chiefs at Hooker coming up to you saying, "Hey Gary, we're loving what you're doing. Keep it up." Like, so it's really good what you're doing.
And I was saying before about how like Sports Shoes content really is totally different to what Gary's is, and you'd be like, a lot of people have said, well, why are you using Gary for that? But then you think, and it's a fair question, but the reason we do is because Gary's content cuts through the noise of UTMB.
Yeah.
If we go out and just do that professional content, which we will still do in,
need that,
in terms
yeah.
of delivering results, but
Yeah.
if you can do that alongside it and merge it and have somebody with the character
Yeah.
and personality that Gary's
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
and the ideas as well
Yeah.
to put these things together.
It's not my job to sell me on this thing. It's like I'm like Ben will know. Like for months ago, I'm like, right, what is that? I can do good reels. I think that will get attention and get
Yeah.
numbers. But what is the outcome of the reels? As in, am I there to sell the new Mafferty? Am I there
Yeah.
to just get
Promote a
attention?
race, yeah.
Am I there to just talk about Sports Shoes? And then as long as I know that, I think
Yeah.
it's all right. Because like you say, I'll do ones that will hopefully do some good numbers. And then when Ben says puts the ones out that they need to put out that basically convert to sales
Yeah.
ultimately,
Yeah.
and people see them then because they're
Yes.
already
Yeah.
it's uplifted by not just me, you know what I mean, by the ones that I've dotted around
Yeah.
and through my own account that I know obviously people will kind of like my own style. That they've linked with it. So I'm in
Yeah.
the Sports Shoes kit, I'm in the Hooker kit, like they've
Yeah.
fully kitted me out for the week. So all the videos from Monday to today
Yeah.
have all been Sports Shoes Hooker, but
Yeah.
they've just not all been on their channel.
Yeah, yeah.
So like,
And it's fine for that content we've done to live on other channels as well. It's just an extension of Sports Shoes, isn't it?
Yeah.
But a lot of the stuff we've planned this week has been so reactive, hasn't it? We didn't plan to do all the videos we planned to do. There was a few bits where, like the final boss idea, which we'll come
And
on
the
to in a
legs.
moment. Yeah, and the legs. We planned those two
Yeah.
things, but everything else has just been
Off.
reactive, and we've been bouncing all week.
and to
Like
be
saying,
fair, we hadn't like
Yeah.
Ben will have an idea, and I'll have an idea, and it's not like, and we've both almost built it together within.
You can't be rigid in this sort of thing because you don't know what you're going to come across, what stories are going to, you
No.
know.
And I'll be honest, you
rigid.
almost react
Yeah.
into, well, what are the others doing?
Yeah.
Like 90% of it's boring and shit.
Yeah.
But it might look nice.
Yeah.
I mean, not boring and shit, but it's like you wouldn't discern it as anyone else, right?
Yeah.
And then I've seen a couple that have tried to do quirky things and it's worked quite well and stuff. So you don't want to rip off that, or
Yeah.
because everyone's in Chamonix, everyone's gonna. If you're not
Yeah.
careful, everyone could have the same joke or the same
Yeah.
whatever.
Sure.
So I think it's been really interesting.
you-
We've had good feedback from people, just runners in the pubs that don't comment
been
on
nice,
this stuff, and bars and the athletes and up to the top brass kind of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, like I'm sure, like
Yeah,
Yeah,
you've done a
it's-
great job. You've done a
it's
great
been,
job.
it's been really good. And like you say, we're all tired, but I think from my point of view, it was a success because
Yeah.
it's hard, isn't it? Because I'm not, like I say, it's going into someone else's team as well. They have to
Yeah.
spend time
Yeah.
with him, with this
Yeah.
idiot all week.
Yeah.
Like I have to be slightly confident by when UTMB start and they've got the Hoka start line where it's just all VIP Hoka, that I can walk in full final boss outfit and kind of get away with it. Don't know if I'd have done it on day
Yeah,
one.
you can
but-
get away with anything.
That was the pinnacle, though, wasn't it? It was brilliant.
Yeah.
But when he, I knew about the final boss happening, so I went round and we filmed you coming out of the hotel room. But
Yeah.
none of the team knew about it. So when he turned up, it was just like a total
Do
surprise.
they
and
know?
shocked
Do,
everybody.
do the Europeans know final boss is? Or just the UK
So-
people?
Well,
Some have and
some do.
yeah.
Some just thought that's how Gary dresses.
It's those lips that got me, man. How did you get your lips so close to your bloody nose? Like,
So it's the teeth, so I had a gum shield. Yeah. So yeah, I'm sure everyone that likes this podcast.
In person, I'm good.
Oh, it was good, mate. It was
Well,
good.
up at Delagouge, it just like it was in the rain. It was all coming off. And I looked like George Michael coming out of the toilet. So I had to zoom it off.
Simon Cowell.
The impact had gone a little bit on that hill, so it's like, bet I've took it off. I woke up though the next morning and there was just under the desk there was like a wet wig, the gold chain, and it's like, good night.
Good night. A wet rat on the floor. Oh man.
I mean, the other challenge for me as well was trying to look after the 2 dogs this week. Like we drove out in the camper van. Like
Pete and
start last week, yeah. Pete and Luna. So we drove out last weekend. We got to Chamonix on Sunday, but on Monday, Kirsty went to work in Switzerland, so she basically left me with the 2 dogs. I mean, she couldn't take them with her because she was in like real meetings.
Yeah.
So I had to do all the crewing.
Be careful, just left me with them.
That's it. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. I'm just this disclaimer in case Kirsty's listening to this, but no, she had no choice. So
she went to work while you were dossing around.
That's
Chamonix.
it. She went to work while I was pissing around Chamonix. That's pretty much what it was. But I brought him with me crewing, and I mean it's not easy. But Pete, trying to crew with Pete is just a nightmare. He's like having a shit in the middle of the course.
The final boss on the
he is the final boss. Like we drove up to Petit Saint Bernard to see Darren, and he just stopped in the middle of the road. And like I had to stop the cars whilst he just laid one, and I'm just about to miss like Darren running through, and it's just these things that people don't see. So it's been a bit of a challenge with the dogs, mate. And it got to
at least you didn't have a full camera and video crew with you, isn't it?
That's true. Yeah, exactly. So it got to Wednesday. I'd had like I said 3 hours sleep, and then we decided to go out on Thursday for a few beers, didn't we? I think that's when we first like let our hair down, but it wasn't. I'll say it wasn't a wild night. We had a few beers, but then Kirsty came back.
It was just a bit later than we planned. Nobody drinks that much. I always think in Chamonix because it's just too expensive, isn't it? So you're out a bit later enjoying it, but we did get home a bit later than planned. We
genuinely didn't have time to do anything apart from that. That was the only one opportunity we had, chance to do a few beers. But Kirsty got back on the Friday, and I sound probably like I do now, like really croaky. She was like, "Have you been out drinking?" And I've been like a party time this week. I was like, No. I've been working really hard, all this sort. And she's like, okay. And she could see I'd been busy through the week. Anyway, I really played it down, just said we've gone out for a couple of beers. And then later on, one of the videographers, Ellis, who was on our team, showed her this video of me and Gary pole dancing in his club.
In that Beyond Bar?
Yeah.
Beyond Bar? Oh,
yeah.
I bet Alec were there
So,
with
yeah,
shots.
Alec were there,
He buying shots,
we were buying all the shots. So, like, she just thought then I'd been on the piss all week and, like, done nothing. But I was trying to, like, hide it from her and, like, really suppress it down. And
so I remember, like, I was knackered just for the lack of sleep anyway. And then I had that night in. And like we say, it was not like I had a full-on hangover, but like I remember seeing you at breakfast. I was a bit just like, just wasn't great in terms of like energy-wise. And then we had to went down to the track, didn't we? And talking about the dogs, it was so funny because that was the day Kirsty was coming back. It was the day afternoon after we'd had a couple of drinks and stayed out late, and then. Like Ben was down to just, I don't know if you're meant to be in part of the shoot anyway, but he was getting roped into just holding a shoe for a bit of ASMR and stuff. And the dogs are playing Eck and stuff because it's round the track and so people are constant. Dogs were going mental. And that's the first time I've seen, well, actually, it was the same time last year. He'd had enough of the dogs, I think. But Ben was just like, I need to go. I need to get the dogs back. And then I was left doing the shoe instead. It's the first time I've seen him like, I just need to sort the dogs.
I was there for that then. We got grumpy then.
You did. It's not often that happens, but I just went, Gary, please just bail me out here. And I just had to go because it was just like the straw that broke the camel's back.
Like, I wasn't feeling great. And I thought, I'll just hold this shoe for a minute. 45 minutes later, I'm still like in the blazing sun.
Holding this fucking shoe.
Doing different shoe angles like this. It's a good job it was just fingers and not my face. Yeah.
Would you bring the dogs again? I mean, you come in the camper van, right?
Yeah.
You drove down your new van.
Yeah, I mean, the bonus is now I've booked some holiday off the back of this, so I'm going to go off in the camper with the dogs and it'll be really relaxed now, but it's just getting to this week. And I dread it, mate, if I'm honest, because it is hard, because you're always thinking, like, what am I going to do with the dogs? And, like, if you're off crewing and you're away like during the night and stuff, you've got to like plan something to take them out for a wee or when I'm going to get back. So I've always got them in the back of my mind, and then where we need to go next for the content and what. So you're constantly just moving stuff around, and my brain's just mush.
I mean, this week's that busy. I've not been able to organise myself. So you know, when you've got other people to rely on, like you know, she's bringing out your partner or something like
Yeah.
that. You just think
You don't got to spend any time with them, do you?
Best not to come.
I mean, I've spent quite a bit of time with Gary, like off camera and stuff, but not loads, have we? Like, we've still been busy. Certainly the start of the week, we didn't see each other for 3 days, but then we've like really made up for it since.
We had a good couple of days, didn't we? After Friday? No, yesterday.
Yesterday was good.
Yesterday was good because
I'd finished basically.
Yeah. And what day was it? Yesterday, Saturday, UTMB day. I was also employed to shoot for Coros Global Watches for the CCC and the UTMB. So on the back of Nirvana, on top of that, that's why it's been also mega busy. But it's been great. But we got a lift up with the Skinners, didn't we? Sam and Monday.
Yeah. Shout out to the Skinners.
Yeah, shout out to them. Sam, brilliant, just parking where he wants, and just like blocking in drives, and he like, didn't give a fuck anymore. We just sod it. And Mandy's
picking up hitchhikers.
Oh, we picked up hitchhikers, and also awesome. Got to Valacine, which is Valacine. For those that don't know where it is, when the UTMB comes through and the CCC race comes through Valacine, they start heading up and then over down to Argentière, and then up to La Flagière. They're coming down off Col du Mont.
Yeah.
And honestly, the atmosphere there was electric. Flares, train going past, hooting the horn, and there must have been thousands of people there. Big TV screen, massive checkpoint aid station. So it was kicking off. So we got a good spot, didn't we?
Yeah, it was good because you could see them coming down through the switchbacks, and you see them leave the checkpoint as well and see the carnage because we weren't in that. Didn't need to be in there, but you had the perfect view. I think. Yeah. It was just a nice, relaxing afternoon.
We made the decision not to go to La Flagière like we did last year because of the low clag.
Yes.
And it was fucking cold up there.
Yeah, and I was up there, it was exactly that, Rich. So it was freezing. I mean, it was good because I really wanted to see Josh Wade come through. Because we saw him there last year, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I managed to. I said on the podcast, it'll be last week now, but when I watched Tom Evans come through, there were like 50 people around him, entourage, and then Ben, the next guy, maybe had 20 or 30 people around him. Josh comes up, and I ran down to him. You know, as far as you can see, nobody with him. So I basically ran 5 minutes with him, just chatting, crack. Yeah. Unbelievable. Just so unassuming. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and we saw him coming down. We were absolutely buzzing when we learnt he were in third place because the signal was shit where we were. So when we learnt that Josh was in third, and we kept intermittent signal, but the screen was telling us also what was going on. It was just brilliant, and it was just dialed in, locked in, and we thought he's going to catch Ben over second place at that point.
Said maybe like 2 more K, and he probably would have done.
And I'm a massive fan of how that Ben Demon runs, to be honest. Because when he come through us, he looked absolutely exhausted. I haven't got to listen to any of the interviews, but he can still run, and he's a strong runner. But it just looked like from Champagne, Josh looked like he had the grip between his teeth. One, he was, like you say, we've seen him running with the smile on his face. And if you've got your smile on your face like that, and you're literally charging out of a checkpoint, he was... he was moving well.
You know that last turn on La Flagière where you come up through the compress spot bit on the last corner, he ran all of that. Like, I'm not joking. And Andy Jackson, who was filming, couldn't keep up with him. Like he dropped him. Like unbelievable.
He's I'm so stoked he's come through. Like absolutely buzzing for him, and because he last year 10th.
He
just needs to get
incredible
pushed on now, and then really, you know, I think he's
put a marker down, hasn't he? Third at Trans Gran Canaria this year, and third at UTMB. So can't argue with that, can you?
So
absolutely amazing.
Good couple of days, wasn't it? CCC, where did we go Friday? CCC day. That was it. It was pissing it down for the end of the race. And
we were off up de la Gorge. So Friday was because it's the start of the race. It's a weird one, isn't it? Because you have the morning where when you're working out here, I always miss CCC because it starts 9 a.m. You've usually got to do something in the morning. Yeah. Then you're just desperate for a bit of downtime in the afternoon. But then, like, we were going out for 4:30 for final boss time. Yeah. So it was like, and that's it. That's your day gone.
And what's difficult for those, like, so running around chasing people, like you said, it's hard to get around unless you've got organised, drivers. I mean, there is the train and the buses and stuff. So I went to Le Bouillet, actually, just reminded myself, which is just after Valacine.
Yeah, it's a good spot.
Yeah, nice little spot. And I saw a puppy coming through, the winner of the CCC.
Legend.
Oh, yeah, it's unbelievable. And then some of my runners that I had to shoot was like Elsie Davis, who got through. Who else was down there? Aroa Sio. Yeah, so these are Coros athletes, but it was good. And then the dark came in, and I missed the last train at this point. And I'm not going to be able to get back to the finish time. I thought, because there was my mate Ben Poole, I don't know if you know
Yeah,
him.
no, Ben, we saw him yesterday at
Yeah.
Tattoo Place.
Top guy. And I thought, there's my last, one of my last runners coming through for Coros to shoot,
Yeah.
but 10 minutes behind is Ben Poole, and the train's in 8 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to leave. I'm not going to miss Ben. And I saw him come through, and I thought, there's got to be another bus in half an hour, and there wasn't. Anyway, I'm talking to these two Americans who work for Arcteryx, and they're like, hey, what are you doing? I said, I'm just, I've just missed my last train, but you don't know when the next one is. Hey, no worries, we're going to go back now. I'll take you down. And they were like, that's the time. I look,
Yeah.
got back for then finishes that I needed to shoot. But
Excellent.
sometimes if you don't plan it,
No.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, we obviously did the crew in Monday to Wednesday, and then we had an opportunity to go around with Sun God to see UTMB.
Brilliant.
So they had one space in their Jeep. It was like a incredible little Jeep.
What a Jeep, yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool Jeep, isn't it? So Will at Sun God, he said, I'll reserve that space for sports shoes. We were going to put our videographer in, but he was going home on the Saturday. So actually, Chris as well, bring you into conversation. He's come out to spend a few days out, see what UTMB is about, film the podcast. But I said to Chris, look, do you fancy going around with Sun God and capturing some footage for UTMB? And straight away, it was just like, yeah, I'll do it. So Chris jumped in with them, didn't you? And,
how was it?
Got first-hand experience, didn't you?
It was interesting, yeah. So the reason I'm out here is, one, we really wanted to shoot a podcast whilst we're actually out in UTMB, but really for me just to see what UTMB is, because I hear you guys talking about it a lot, and I can watch the videos on the internet and stuff, but it's nothing better than actually being out here. So I was just going to hang around, but really when I got here, I figured that was just going to be hanging in the town in Chamonix. So when Ben offered this opportunity, I thought, well, might as well go out and see what it's about. It was definitely going to take me to points on the race. Probably ought to give a shout out to the guys from Sun God, Will, who drove, and then Rob and Tommy, who I shared a back seat with. It's a fairly intimate experience of 24 hours in a Grenadier truck. But yeah, it was good because we got out to some of those key places, Notre-Dame, which was just truly wild. I mean, I know Ben was super excited about it and tried to explain it to me, but for, everyone listening to this is into their running, but for me, that was what, Val de Turini or whatever it is on the Monte Carlo rally with all the fireworks going off. It was that, but with runners coming up through it.
Tour de France-esque, isn't it? Yeah.
Tour de France is another good analogy, isn't it? And stuff, but, it was at night. It was biblical rain. There's people with massive flags. It's 3 people deep on a trail that's not even 3 meters wide.
Did it take you a while to get up to Notre-Dame? I don't know. I know it's the place to go, but how long
Well,
did it take to walk up?
We'll do ours first, then we'll come back to Chris in a second. But we went to Notre-Dame, me and Gary, with Hawker and sports shoes.
Yeah.
So we got up on the coach and it was absolutely fine.
Free bar, by the way.
They'd stop people from driving, free bar. So we got in there, had a few beers. This wasn't a holiday, by the way, again, just for podcast. Kirsty was with us this time. No dogs as well, we'd left them, someone was walking them for me. Some food and everything, and we're like, shit, we better get out and watch the race. Biblical rain though, but Chris had quite a different experience, didn't you, coming up? You just about got through, because they weren't letting any cars up, were they?
Usually, you can't get the cars up. Yeah, so don't.
I think your chance
Well,
to
I think it had changed. Listening to the guys that did it last year, they were able to drive fairly close and then a big hike in. Yeah. This year at Saint-Gervais, which is pretty much off the Mont Blanc Tunnel Road, the main motorway, they wouldn't let you off at that junction. They wouldn't let you through the town, so you couldn't get up to Lake Contamine unless you had a car pass. We did a little bit of blagging, I'll be honest.
Chris said that you Gary House, and
we said, and we got through. We probably shouldn't have done, but the right person let us through.
Up in that bloody van anyway, straight to
we got in with about a kilometre of the actual climb itself, which was pretty cool. So then we just hiked up. We hiked through the light tunnel. You cross over a little narrow bridge, and then you're straight onto the climb. I only went about 100 metres up that climb because we had to get out. We could only stay for like the first 50 runners, and I had to get out, so we didn't go too far up it. But I mean, Gary and Ben went quite a way up there.
Good though, Gary, wasn't it?
Brilliant, yeah. And like we've touched on the on last week with Andy, it was I did about 2 or 3 minutes of hiking up with him, and it was I left him. I was just buzzing because like I've only seen it clips and stuff, and I know it's meant to be an assault on the senses, but it's that was the one time I thought, bloody hell, this is just insane kind of thing, and it's going to go on and on and on. And we left between about 11ish, something like that. And obviously that's still early in the race for most of the field. So it was good. And again, thanks to Hoka, we had access to go up, and have a couple of drinks, and then we made our way back to the Chamonix. But it's like and then you're out of it again, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's like instantly, like we're home and I'm in the hotel and I'm just watching a bit on YouTube.
Although we did have that run into the support bus to give Andy Berry my poles.
We
I told
did.
you about that.
We did.
Poles in question.
I
Look.
did.
Yeah.
I saw that video. Like, yeah, I mean that's top tier crewing when you weren't meant to be crewing.
Exactly, mate.
That's what
We're always giving at way RUNcensored. That's what we're
it.
about.
Yeah, we're always. Yeah.
Men of the people. That's what we are.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It was no, that was great. There's lots of highlights. Some of the little bits. I don't know. Is there any bits that took you by surprise or anything or
In
anything?
terms of the races,
No, not so much the races because I guess everyone will know about the races by now. We don't need to go on too much about it. But like from our own experiences, any little highlights of your week or any lowlights of the week?
I mean, I raced the OCC this year, so
Yeah.
that was a highlight.
Tell us about that, Rich. How did it go?
I'd almost forgot about that.
I as well, yeah.
That wasn't me teeing you up there, sorry. I completely forgot.
Should have taken credit for that go because I was like, oh, he's mentioned it, thankful.
Yeah, so I got lucky again. I got
It was
lucky
2 weeks ago now, so yeah.
I got lucky with the draw, and I did last year as well because I got my stones from UTMB races.
I think they must go on your photos, maybe. Do you have to send a mugshot in?
I don't know.
You only want good-looking single men on the start line.
Thanks for plugging me, mate. I appreciate it. I'm watching.
You can find him on Tinder if you're interested.
So,
I'm Grindr, yeah.
I'm Grindr. I set Gary up for that one.
So, yeah, where are we? So, second year OCC in 2 years. And, I got lucky. And that, this is the first time this year where I thought, actually, the working hat, the photography hat is more important than the running hat for me. Obviously I run a lot, but it's just a race at the end of the day. And I did it last year, but the night before we got a text from UTMB saying wet weather, delaying start by 2 hours. Brilliant, because that gives me 2 out of 8 early starts anyway.
Yeah.
So extra 2 hours in bed. That meant we were starting off from those years at 10:15 rather than 8:15. I got my private shuttle organised through Nirvana, another win. And then it stopped raining by the time we got there, perfect. But the route had changed slightly as well because of it was really cold and I don't know that some of the high tops they'd just taken off. So that meant we went lower into Osiers and got a bigger climb out of Osiers when we came loop back round. Champelac was the same, and then it's like a 2,000 metre climb.
Yeah.
In one off go, which is different. So I felt lucky that I'd done 2 OCCs now and both been different routes. So I kind of got a good deal.
Yeah, good experience then.
Yeah. And then we didn't go up to La Flagier. We cut down early and finished down through the, from Argentina down into Chamonix with some undulating paths. But no, loved it. That was.
You were so fast this year that I missed you to finish. I was
I did as
5-10
well,
minutes
mate.
late.
I'm really sorry.
It's all right though, Rich, because I got there and you didn't recognise me.
Right.
We got back and I was in
Yeah,
the shower and I had
that's
in my
good.
head he's going to be about 8 hours. And I thought I know they've changed the course, but because of that big climb, I thought maybe, and the weather, because we'd been out chasing Jim and stuff. I thought I had more time when I was in the shower, and then it was only that Chris popped up with about the tracker, and I know the tracker that he was looking at isn't always great, and I was like, he's a minute and 6 minutes. I said, I'm going to miss him, but I'll be down.
I was back before. I planned 8 hours, but it was hard when you done
Yeah.
different when the routes changed.
Yeah.
But when the elevation is more or less the same, they added on 5k, so it
Yeah.
ended up being 60k rather than 55 and 200 meters less. And I thought I'm going to be around about 8 hours. I did 8.5 last year, and I came in at 7.5. So
That's amazing.
I'm buzzing. So I did perform better.
Yeah.
I am
Yeah,
fitter than I
definitely.
was last year
Yeah.
and stronger.
And we said, even though it's hard to tell, like we said about the finish times last year, the
Yeah.
finishing time, the winning time was 5.5 hours. Jim's winning time this year was 5 hours. That's 30 minutes quicker. So
Yeah.
I can give you a bit of an idea, but he's gone an hour quicker.
Yeah, so you've
So
done.
there's no way he hasn't outperformed
big
last
marker.
year. And yeah, it was hot last year and stuff.
It
wasn't
was,
But
yeah.
it's like you say, I think it's good that you've done 2 completely different races there. Yeah.
bonus.
I thought we'd see you. We tried to work it out, hadn't we, on the train, and we thought, oh, it'll be coming in at this time. And we got back, went for a shower. I went out for the one run this week that I've done with the dogs
Yeah.
on Petit Balcon Sud. And it was really nice, actually. But got back and, I've missed you.
Hey,
so
mate,
unfortunately.
you know what though? Coming through
He's
town,
all right. He's always covered in people when he's not knocking
I
around.
couldn't believe there were loads of people I knew coming through, and it's nice having friends around near the finish line. And that last kilometre through Chamonix, last 500 metres through Chamonix is insane. And seeing loads of friends there and stuff like that, it was good fun. And
got the surprise of Chris turning up.
Yeah.
You've got to fly over just for your finish
Chris,
line.
he just literally landed, and he said he rushed up, bless him,
Well,
with the camera, and he got there. Didn't you?
I just couldn't work this tracker thing out on the website because it was saying one thing and the guys saying another, and then Gary just said he's imminent, and I was like, look, I'm 10 minutes away. I'll just run. And
Love
the first place that I got to, I think I was one corner back from the very finish line.
Did you hear him shout out, "Find your mountain, Rich"? Is that what he said? Wasn't it?
Hey, that sponsorship's over. They're not paying this.
Oh, we're not giving that then, right? We're not giving that. Yeah.
But Rich, like, I mean, I'd never been to this before, and I know what that last kilometre was like. But talk us through from passing the corner of the village, what it is like running through that street.
So I hyped it up bigger last year because I'd never done it before, and I'd seen it so many, and it was my first experience. And I got last year. I got kind of like that emotion coming through and like trembling, and like your adrenaline is pumping because for the 10K before that, you're running through treacle like slow, and you're thinking, if I'm running like this through Chamonix, God, people think I'm dead. But this adrenaline overtakes because of the streets are just lined, the noise, everybody's clapping, everyone's ringing bells. And those that even don't, they don't know you, and you're still shouting your name. And
You had a big content team following you as well.
I did not. Right. There were two people running in with me with a camera. I did not ask anybody.
You've changed it.
Seriously,
you had me filming you last year on a bloody iPhone, and this year you got two content people.
Seriously, Christian.
Can you write that off as well? Can you? With them out with you.
Christian messaged me and said, "Rich, I'm waiting for mate Lewis coming in. He's going to be maybe an hour after you. Can I follow him?" The camera says, "Mate, it's up to you. You can do, but I've not asked you. But yeah, we had a couple, so it was quite good fun.
It was good footage as well. It's really good because I missed you coming in, and you don't see it yourself coming in. And nobody can be asked playing it back, so we're not going to do that. But you had a great video of Christian running after you, didn't you?
Yeah.
By someone else taking it.
Well,
So it's like,
when you're a photographer, you've got a lot of photographer friends, video friends, so kind of like they were there.
Yeah, it's
so
good.
You end up bloody had a load of cameras on me, but no, it was great, and
What I thought was quite cool was that it's not properly barrier lined like the London Marathon or whatever, where it's like people are just walking across these streets, and then when you hear an LA, like people just park, don't they, and then let you run through. It's just incredible.
It is incredible, and you'll never forget it, and I won't forget it, and if I never do one again, I feel like it's experience well done. But one of the highlights of the race, and it reminded me of you, 5 kilometres in. This little English boy, he was definitely English.
Selling ice pops.
No, he wasn't selling ice pops. But he did say, "Keep going, you're nearly there." You've been listening. I should say, cheers, guy, but I wanted to drop kick a 5-year-old 5K in. Cheers, brutal. But I'm definitely thought he's listened to the podcast.
Happy days,
Or his dad's told him to say
That's close. What was your highlight, Gary, of the week?
I've had a few, it's seeing Rich finish well. It was good because when I
see me.
He was thinking about you in the shower. That's what it was.
I didn't mean about that finish.
You might get that rating on.
There we go.
Yeah,
tick the box again.
I've not done well these past 2 episodes, have I? So just seeing him afterwards because you look knackered, mate.
Yeah.
So I knew he'd put a lot into that. But he'd also come out with it with a great result, and don't get me wrong, like you've got to think, like me and Ben were saying, Monday to Wednesday we're both busy, and I know you were busy. To think, I couldn't have been asked doing the OCC, and wanting to run a good race as well. So just hats off to you, mate, for that. Because you could have took the easy option and say, I'm doing it, but I'm gonna take it easy or something. I'm just gonna enjoy my week. So you give it beans, and you did your work, and you come out.
I appreciate that, and I'm absolutely knackered now because it does catch up with you a couple of days later, and the 2 nights after, because you can't sleep after a race. No. You're wired, your adrenaline's still pumping, and then we went out for beers that night, so I got in at like 1:30, 2, and then
just a beer. It
was like a business meeting, wasn't it? And then
one of the sorry, mate, to talk over, but so seeing him finish was a highlight. The other highlight was seeing our other friend Dave Miller finish.
Yeah,
his race. I just love seeing people that are completely buzzing at a finish line. And I've only met David a couple of times, but he's not like the most extroverted person, is he? I'm sure he won't mind me saying, lovely guy. And when we were all on that raised bit watching him come round, and he'd give out a little one of them over the finish line, he like let himself celebrate it. And then we all went round, and it was like Miller.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was so
and you
special.
could just see the adrenaline and how much he was like loving it.
What was also nice about that is the 2 days before, he'd been round crewing with Darren Hannah and taking pictures behind the scenes for us, just off his own back. As in, like, I'd asked him to do it, and he just said, "Yeah, I'll do it," even though it was 2 days before his race.
Yeah.
And he went through the night as well. So similar to you, Rich, like he's burnt the candle both ends really. Not best race prep for him, but he's always doing stuff for other people, is Dave. And then I think it was nice for him to see everybody doing something for him. And Ellis got our videographer and photographer from Sports Shoes. He got a really good picture of him from behind.
Photos. Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
So it was nice for him to have a picture of himself.
He's buzzing. I saw him at the finish line last night. We were sat together at the finish line shooting some of the UTMB runners, Gilly Reynolds coming over the line, and a few of the chorus athletes that I had to finish off. We sat together and we just sat and chatted for an hour, and he's buzzing.
Yeah.
He's honestly on cloud nine at the minute.
Had a good week.
He's in a good place, and his photography is amazing. And we go, kind of like that photographers union thing. And you guys introduced me to him, I think, a few years ago here, like 3 or 4 years ago. But he's a top guy.
He's a top guy, yeah. So top mention to you and him, mate, for smashing it out. Because I mean, I managed a 5 mile run with dogs, as I said. That's the only run I've done all week because I've either not had time or I just haven't had the energy.
Yeah.
And you were the same, Gary. We've not.
I mean, we can go into my race, which is a big event. So I was due to do the ETC on the Tuesday, was it?
Yeah, Tuesday, yeah.
Which is the 15K. It's not the longest race of the week.
1,200 meters, though, right?
Yeah, it's a tough little route.
Really
Ben's done it, Kirsty's done it, and they were all giving me some good tips and stuff. And obviously, like, I can hike around and run around still on the leg, but like there was a bit of just like almost like, why am I doing a hard 15K?
Yeah.
But then it was also a good opportunity to make some good content out of it. That was the idea. And it's a good job it wasn't like the UTMB or something, just because events transpired. I couldn't make the start line. We didn't get over there in time, and there was problems in the tunnel and stuff. So again, it was almost like, I wouldn't say it was a low light, but Katie, who's looking after me and organising everything for Sports Shoes, she was quite stressed that morning because we had a plan and it was becoming more and more kind of clearer that plan wasn't going to happen. So what do we do? And not just me and my race. It was like what their they had content planned over there in Courmayeur. But actually, I think we turned it around into a good day. Like wasn't that much of a big deal. Yeah, we had to spend ages in the tunnel. But instead of doing the race, which would have been bloody tough either way, I just hiked up to the highest point and I got to see like the elites coming through, and then I got to see like the top 50-ish through, some friends coming through. And I wouldn't have had that opportunity if the other thing. So the race wasn't a big deal, and I still got a good day out of it. I think you can take positives out of it. I think I don't think I had many low lights apart from I just sometimes think I wish there was. I know Wednesday's a bit more of a downtime, but there's no downtime when you're like a Ben or yourself or even me. I'd like a day in between where we could just have a day where we can just go and sit in a cafe for the day.
Do you know what?
Or go and sit.
Yeah.
Or do that run that we did last year together.
Oh, we went up to
Lac Blanc.
Lac Blanc. Lac Blanc.
I always get mixed up. Blanc, Blau.
Lac Blanc, is it? Or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Buffalo Fleisure.
Yeah. It's lovely that. And I said to the guys at Nirvana, I'll take you up there today but that's, I was just going to say, that downtime.
Just
I was so happy that I got here early. The weekend before it all kicked off.
Yeah,
just
to do it.
I went had a day by the pool, sunbathing, chilled, and it was really nice. And just did a little bit of running before the madness starts. Although you could have it at the end, but you're never going to get it in the middle. You just ain't. You ain't going to get it.
But then at the end, and like this time, just like me and Ben yesterday and the night before, it's just I was frazzled. And it's almost like everyone's building up the intensity to UTMB. And actually, when UTMB starts, I'm almost like, I'm kind
You're
of
almost done, aren't you? Yeah. I'm the same.
I tell you what, though,
and yesterday was nice because it was Saturday afternoon and we were just chilling essentially in Valacine. But yeah, apart from that, it's been full on.
Just and if there's anyone like listening and thinking of going next year as a fan, I would say start looking at accommodation now because my accommodation was sorted out by Nirvana, so I was lucky, apart from the few days before. But you are paying top dollar, triple the cost. So if you're interested in going out, I would start looking early doors. But it is a great week, isn't it?
You can do it cheaper, and I know, because
Friends
I know
and
a lot of
chalets.
people will see us out here, and we are with brands and stuff. And like one of the questions I got through on the Q&A, I think was, it was someone literally asking, would you be able to come out as a fan and experience UTMB, but on a budget? Yeah, and like Ben's probably more the person, but you absolutely can, because there's places where you can do, usually apart from UTMB, apart from when there's an actual race on, maybe. The transport is good up the valley, like the trains and stuff. So even if you need to stay 15, 20 minutes out, and there's camping and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say there's campsite, isn't there? So you could do that. I suppose you could even try and camp wild if you really wanted to.
There's
Les Hooch's
one of my friends, like
good.
Mike and Rosie, they brought their family out and they've been camping for 9 or 10 days here, I think.
But you'd have to book that early, wouldn't you? Like you said.
Early. But then, like the weather we had last year was like wall-to-wall sun for 7 days, and it's been so sunny. And then this year we've had torrential rain. It's been quite cold at night.
Yeah,
so,
that's a good point, actually. We've had a horrendous week. But it's been really shit.
Hey, I'm glad I brought my big coat.
It's been extremes, hasn't it? Like some days boiling hot, t-shirts and shorts. Next time you're in down jacket or waterproofs.
It's an interesting.
Or the full spectrum, haven't we? Yeah, especially for UTMB actual race.
What about you? Because like Ben, you're the big dog at short shoes kind of things, but you've got the most pressure in terms. Well, kind of the most pressure, but I know there's a team of you, but there is a lot of pressure because it's not just the Chamonix stuff; it's the other stuff you've got going on.
I'm just involved in so many different things. So everything, by default, has to come through me because I'm like looking after trail and outdoors as a like section of sports shoes now as a category. So this, obviously, Hulk is not my brand; it's Katie's brand, but I'm connected to it because it's the trail running event, isn't it? So I'm involved like with everything, but also if you've got projects going on, which I always have at home, like they don't stop for UTMB. I'm still like moving them around. So even when I'm crewing like Darren and Hannah on Monday, I was like waiting for him and writing emails like on the job or in the car or like logistically trying to organise people. And we've got a content team. And they work that hard, they forget to eat. So I'm like going out and buying them food, or I'm saying, right, you need to get there and there. So it's just full on.
Because for the last 3 or 4 years, I've seen you here, and in each year I've got to know you more, but also got to know how you operate.
Yeah.
And I must admit, I don't know how you do it. Because honestly, I'm not just saying this, but you've got that many things going on in different pies of brands with through sports shoes. But coupled with that, you're the most personable. That you know everyone, and everyone knows you, but you remember who they are.
That's not an understatement, is it? Because this guy needs a mask when he walks down the street. Because I'm just trying to walk down with him the other day, like every 10 steps, somebody stops him. You don't get anywhere.
But he's honestly, you do honestly.
Oh, thanks,
hats
guys.
off to you. Like
yeah.
Gary alluded to it earlier. Like you know what you do is incredible. But this behind the scenes, people don't realise how hard you work and what you do. So yeah.
Oh, thanks, guys. No, it means a lot, that, and likewise, obviously, it's been great spending like the little bit of time we've had together, hasn't it? And highlight for me is that those moments where you get to spend time together, because we have had a right laugh, haven't we, Gary?
Oh yeah, I know we're saying we're all knackered and it's been hard and stuff, but don't get me wrong. Like some of those shoot days, especially that Strava one, I was just like laughing for the whole thing. Never mind the outcome of it. There was just loads of funny bits like just off the camera and stuff like this. And you can only do that if there's a team that you all get on with. And I think they let me fit in quite quickly. They don't give them much choice, to be honest. But it's like, it was just fun, wasn't it?
It's really good. And I think when you're doing something you love, like we're all doing, aren't we? And when we get to spend time together, it's just
and I think like Ellis on your team was saying, videographers, like not every job that Ben and the team goes is this big or is this intense, but it's also not like it's not also, you're not in, well, let's be honest, like Hoka looking after us and things like this. Not all your events are like this, is it? It's not like all glitz and glam and stuff. No,
it's not, definitely.
So I know this is, even if you work very hard, you might get looked after to a certain degree. Yeah. But 99% of the time, that's not what this job is, and it's not my job, but it's more Ben and the team's job. And you'll know the same. Like you get these pictures, and it's like, oh, Nirvana have put me up and they put me on a bus and stuff, but then you've been stood on a hill in bad weather for 6 hours to get a shot of a watch or something. Yeah. So it's like, I'll sometimes I'll get asked, and it's whether they're saying it tongue in cheek or whether they genuinely want to know. But sometimes like, well, how have you ended up doing that? It's like, well, you've got to physically work hard at it.
Yeah.
People ask me questions a lot on social media because I've got two accounts, a running account and then my photography account. People say, I want to become a photographer in the trail space. How do you become one? And I get that question a lot. Oh, how do you develop your relationship with brands, for example, because you've got a good relationship with brands? And I said, it comes down to one, consistent hard work. It doesn't happen overnight. Two, being personable and having good relationships with people. I think that's probably first.
I think so. Yeah,
first
I'm with you
top
on
of the
that
tree.
one.
And then that, consistency and the hard work. And then three, you've just got to make it happen, make shit happen. You can't sit around on your arse
No, you can't.
asking the questions. So like for years, I was going out shooting events for free.
Yeah.
And then just tagging people.
Getting your foot in the door.
Yeah. And people think, oh, yeah, you're so lucky. I've heard the term, you're lucky. No, I'm not lucky. It's hard work. Or
You make your own luck.
Yeah, you do.
Absolutely.
You do make your own luck.
So, anyone, again, listening to how do you get into what kind of like what you're doing and what I'm doing and Chris is doing. And it's like, well, you've got to make it happen. And you've got to be personable at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm sure you get it a lot. People say, oh, I'd love to do what you're doing. And I'm sure people would love to do all the the stuff that we're showing on, but I'm not sure everybody would love to do all the other bits we do as well.
Yeah.
Like we only show the good stuff, don't we? Usually.
Yeah.
And I'm not. This is not me like crying a river here because I absolutely love my job and I won't do it otherwise.
100%.
But you've got to put a lot in to get a lot out. Yeah.
And there's no, your structure of your weeks and days are all over the place.
Yeah.
I
mean, when we stood watching David Miller come in just before, and I remember we were having a conversation about a job that I want you to do in a couple of weeks' time. And we were talking about that already, and we're already on this job. And it's like, you know what I mean? We're doing that in the moment, and we're just about to film David coming in, and you're just constantly thinking of the next things, aren't you? So,
but that's why it's effective as well.
Yeah, definitely.
We're doing highlights though. What is your highlight?
Highlight, yeah. So, do you know what? I think spending time with Gary. I mean, obviously spending time with Rich when we do get to spend time together,
this week,
and yourself, Chris. So, spending time with those people that I really love, and they're in this room, but we've had just about laugh, haven't we? Final boss moment was just a total highlight.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that UTMB even acknowledged it today, we just had the last reel we put out was
so we finished it today. We weren't planning to put out. I don't know if we were planning to put out one. We put on quite a lot this week. So like, if you're not into me or Ben or UTMB, you've probably unfollowed a long time ago because it's not usually that intent. Like the output, we've put out a lot, I guess. But we finished it this morning with just one last reel, and it's been, and then UTMB have got involved on it, commenting. So it's almost like, right, that's it, job done. See you later.
Job take, see you next year, sort of thing. Yeah, it really is.
Be on the wanted list. We're like, don't let him in. Don't let him in next year. Don't get him anywhere near that start line.
So I think that, and the fact that we could do our own content as well. It's been great. And then the other thing was, obviously we've mentioned it, seeing Josh come through. That for me, that was I think that was one of the questions as well that we're going to do the chat GPT on was. Which is the most impressive result, and people will say Tom Evans winning, rightly so, because it's amazing, or Roofcroft, or Jim or Puppy or whatever. But for me, Josh finishing third, it was just amazing. And I watched it from the top of the Flagey. I watched him come through from Flagey. I ran with him, but then watched him finish on phone with Andy Jackson. And we were both in tears, both crying. I'm not even afraid to I'm not embarrassed to say that. I was genuinely emotional, like tears in my eyes, because watching him come up, knackered, thinking I've got 2 more days to work. but to see him come through, so pretty much those are my highlights, and then giving the dogs back to Kirsty when she arrived on Friday.
Right, you can have them.
What's your highlight, Chris? And I know you've only been here since Friday, and I know you had a tough 24 hours thrown straight in.
So I think my highlight is probably experiencing this as Ben wanted me to, if I'm honest, because I know how much this means to Ben, and I'm not into trail running like you guys do, and rallying is my gig. So going and seeing the Monte Carlo rally would be equivalent to this, but I know how much it meant to Ben, and for Ben to get me in the Sun God vehicle, which wasn't the easiest experience. Not for me, would have been the same for everybody. It's a lot of time in a car, it's a lot of time awake, but I think the highlight. Finding out about the event, brilliant. Really sold on that, and I could see Gary's given me a lot of behind the scenes information on it to see how it works and why it works, and would definitely recommend coming here. But for me, I managed to get up on the hill yesterday. The guys dropped me off because they were heading back into Chamonix to see the finish, and I just wanted to get on a mountainside properly up high. So I caught the gondola, met up with Ben and Kirsty and his friends, and whether it was the 32 hours sleep, 32 hours without sleep, but I started to feel that emotion, seeing Josh come up that hill, knowing that Ben was running with him, seeing Andy getting emotional about it, seeing the guys from Innovate with their placards about being from Kendal or whatever, and like the hairs on back of my neck. And as Josh ran away from me up that hill, I had a real sense of pride, and I don't feel that this is my sport or that's my position to have that, but I did feel really proud seeing him because I could just feel what you guys were all feeling, and so I think that was probably my highlights. But it's been really good to be here and to obviously be able to shoot some podcasts and stuff. So yeah,
nice one.
Nice one, mate.
Same time next year then. Yeah. Hopefully UTMB now will
See
get
you
in
next
touch.
August.
Yeah, see you next August. Should finish it there now, shouldn't we? Well, if you're listening UTMB, we are available next year. We can present for you if
Not
you
just
want.
UTMB. Well, I mean, we'll take calls from anyone.
The phone line's always
and then
open.
Gilly will sort the deal out.
Yeah.
Happy to chip in.
Yeah, so without further ado, see you next August.
Nice one.
It's the first time I've not signed off.
No, weird, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I wanted to hear that live.
Good, yeah. Good way to finish that, guys.